Hi, Dyslexic Genius here, Brett Hurt. My phone number is 864-236-1680, or you can email me at dyslexicgeniushurt@gmail.com. This is part 2 of the tracking of an Amberola 30, 50, 75, or other Amberolas with this sort of motor on top. And the other thing is, when you do this, you don't want your supervisor here micromanaging you, because it gets very stressful when they just stand there and are looking at the work you're doing. I love my little dash hula girl. She's so cute. Off camera, I've oiled everything. I've oiled back here where the carriage rides. I've oiled the carriage rod here. I've oiled the lead screw here. I've checked everything. Also off camera, the little nut that holds the mandrel in place, I've inserted the screw. I put a little dab of oil on it and I ran it in and out. And then I checked, because this is like a thread, to make things easier on assembly. You kind of play with it a little and now it'll adjust, and then you'll screw the set screw that has a point into this slot, which will tighten it up to set this. I will show you that in a minute. First things, you want the phonograph to be completely run down, but there is going to be a little bit of tension on the motor. And the reason I do this is because this drive gear assembly here can pop around when you insert the mandrel. And it makes a little bit of a noise. But you see here we have this gear, which runs that gear, and this gear runs the governor. But there's an indentation here. So all you need to do is move that gear over a little. And what you can do is you can hold this gear, pop that so it's right in the middle. You can check that. And now you're just going to let go and it's going to make a big noise. Now the motor is completely run down, because we have to get these two springs into here. The gear does not come off because the governor gear hits the main drive gear. So we'll just kind of wiggle those into place. I've put oil here, I've put oil here. Now we insert the mandrel. And now you have to kind of pinch them and play with them a little.
So you squeeze those two springs together and pop them in the slot?
Pop them in the slot. There, we're popped in. And we're set here, okay? We know that. We'll set the brake. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put this in piece on. Remember we pre-did all this. Came in. The mandrel also has a little oiling hole here, but I've already pre-oiled it when I put it on. So we're going to take that screw, and you will feel it. There we go. You see how the screw's going in? And we have this play right here. Well, that's for the mandrel play. This is like setting a governor. You'll lock that down. And we're going to back that off just a pinch, because when you screw this in, everything moves a little. You just want a little bit of play in that. Because if it's too tight, nothing's going to run. That's about right. Just a little bit of play. Because if you crank this in all the way, it's going to run into the mandrel. It's going to slow your machine down. Now, off camera, I've put a little oil on this to pivot in here. We're going to put this in. That falls in place. You're going to pull this out. You're going to make sure that the spring down here is hooked to the motor board. Back in here, there's a spring from the horn up to the motor. That's all in place. Everything's moving. We don't hear any sound on the record. Now we're going to know this is not Hawaiian music. She wants Hawaiian music. Now you set your speed, but I have it set perfectly. And that's how you do the reassembly. Whoopsie, she fell down. We're going to insert this. You leave the casting off till you're done. And now you go, my lift lever is down in the machine. Well, you reach your little hand around through here, you grab the lift lever, push it up, and it goes into lock position. You bring this over, you put the screw through the hole, and you find the screw hole on the lid. And that's how you do it. Put the 2 screws in on the back casting and you're done, and that's my tip for the day.